Yeah. Yeah. God.
Take care.
I'm glad you came.
At your service, sir.
I'm about to give the order to bombard Talmberg. And since it's mainly thanks to you that we still have a trebuchet, I think you should have the honor of the first shot.
I'd be delighted.
To smash my castle? I can't say I share your enthusiasm.
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean it like that.
There's nothing to it. The men will load the trebuchet. All you have to do is pull the lever.
Well, I suppose I could manage that.
Then we'll bombard Talmberg for several days. Sir Robard will explain what comes next. Good luck. God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
How do you like Master Keyser, Sir Divish?
How do I like him? As if it's not enough to hurl giant boulders at my castle, he wants to throw kegs of gunpowder.
I understand, but he has to do something.
Those boulders could hit my wife, and if they don't get her, the gunpowder could burn her to death along with Sir Radzig.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. I know how you feel. I feel much the same. When we're done, what state will my castle be in? What will I do if the worst happens? What? Enough of that. Better to spend my time in prayer than worry.
We made it in the nick of time.
We failed. That serpent from Valdic gave us the slip. I should have known he'd have his fingers in it all. If only I could catch him.
Would you kill him?
Maybe. But before that, I'd throw him in the dungeon for a few years. See how much he enjoys it. Still, the best I'll be able to do is lodge a complaint against him when the king returns, and just thinking about it gets my gall. And my arms killing me. Damn it!
I've arranged for a priest to come. He promised to take care of the people around here.
Thank you, Henry. Lifting the spirit can help us all.
I got hold of a Sawbones to take care of our wounded.
Thank you. Most of them have already lost their homes. Their lives are all they have left. God be with you.
God save you.
How are things with you?
I wish it was all over and done with.
Don't we all? Let's Let's pray we finish it soon.
I've never been in a siege, but I hear it can last weeks, or even months. Farewell.
Well, Henry, it cost me a lot of effort, but it seems I've finally succeeded in making a half-decent warrior out of you. Anything I can do for you?
What do you think of Master Keezer?
I've already asked him to stay on here when this is over. His ideas are incredible, even that trebuchet. I can't wait to launch it.
Sounds like you're sorry not to be the siege master.
Who knows? I may still get a chance.
How do you feel?
Pissed off. I'd give anything to have seen you get here sooner. If only Istvan had stayed inside that fucking castle.
I remember the first time it happened to me.
But that was when you were a young blacksmith, when those thugs attacked you. I'm a nobleman, trained in combat and siegecraft, and even I won't pretend I wasn't terrified.
That's how it goes. There's nothing you can do about it.
But Master Fafar may not survive the way they hacked him. If I'd been quicker, or if he'd at least started to run, but I...
The main thing is it will be easier next time. You won't feel the horror quite so much.
I hope so, Hal. Or I'll soon be getting sick of your pontifications.
Are you wishing you'd stayed home at Ratai instead of joining in our nighttime venture?
You must be joking. I haven't had so much fun since... actually ever.
Really? Despite being wounded? Actually, you missed the best part. When I was hauling you like a sack of grain to the battlements, dead to the world.
It can't have been that much fun if I fell asleep. But you might have handled me a bit more gently. I'm black and blue all over.
Oh, all right then. Next time I'll just leave you to Istvan's tender mercies.
Nonsense. What would you do without me? Still, thank you for hauling me out of there.
Anything for you, my lord.
See you later.
Good luck then. How does that trebuchet work, anyway? Yeah.
Load the trebuchet! How are you, Henry?
I hope I can be... Farewell.
The Lord be praised.
We came just in time, didn't we?
Quite. I thought my last hour had come. But Lord Capon came to our defence and fought like a lion. I'd say he's growing into a proper nobleman at last.
I think more people will be changing their minds about him.
They should. I owe him my life. God bless him.
Do you know where I can find the young innkeeper?
Adam? He's either tottering around the tavern or hanging around the horses. You know him.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care now. What the?
Divish said...
Sir Divish.
Sir Divish said you tell me what happens next.
We're going to watch Istvan shitting himself.
That's all?
For a few days at least. So if you have anything to attend to, now's the time. Just don't forget to come back. God be with you.
What the... Soon as the trebuchet's ready.
What do you think of Master Keezer?
He definitely knows what he's doing. And all that wild talk of his, rockets and such like. I'd almost let him try it out, but on some other castle.
Do you think there's any truth in it?
I've never seen such weapons used, so I can't really judge. But if his ideas worked, they'd change the way we make war. He showed me some of the drawings he has with him. I don't know if he's a genius or a madman.
There was precious little in it, and we could have lost everything.
That's how it goes in war. But God stood by us. And in the end, they're nothing but a bunch of filthy cutthroats. They're sneak thieves and assassins. But does that make them real soldiers?
Well, they're apt to wait till a man nips off into the bushes to relieve himself, lifts up his chainmail tunic and stab him in the back. Personally, I'd rather face a proper soldier.
Because you know just who you're up against. That's probably why Toth is giving us such a hard time.
Is something the matter?
A few of them have taken to their heels. If they stop in Kutenberg, I'll be glad enough. But I fear they may have other plans.
If those were the best of Ishvan's men, they could be lurking in the woods. They'll probably wait to attack us at the worst possible moment.
My fear exactly. I won't breathe easy until Toth is hanging from the gate. But in the meantime, I'll be glad to know the woods at my back are clear. Can I count on you?
Of course, Sir Ebon. Would you like me to bring back their gear as evidence they're dead?
That's not necessary. I trust you, Howard. You don't even have to do the killing, just let me know where you find them and that'll be that. There's no need for you to get hurt in the process.
I'm here.
Can't you see we're still bombarding? You came too soon.
Goodbye.
I have some trophies.
Show me. They deserved it. Goodbye.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Who's there? You're in the wrong place. You come. Come here, lily liver. What's the move? Come on!
Yeah. Yeah. Over here! Where is everyone? Quick! Raise the alarm! Watch out!
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Hey, who's there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you eating?
Henry's come to see us.
I found all of their campsites. The rest of the woods are clear.
That's a relief. Now let's relieve ourselves of this accursed Toth. Goodbye.
How about measuring our strength against each other, huh?
What's the matter?
Ah, nothing's the matter. I'd just like to pass the time of day with a fellow wayfarer.
I see. What do you have in mind?
We could have a little bout of combat, for the sake of practice.
Who are you, anyway? And what do you do?
Merchants hire me for protection. That's all you need to know. So, shall we fight then?
All right, why not?
Excellent. I trust you have something to wager.
Aye, I have.
Splendid. Let's get to it.
Show what you're made of. Christ! Welcome, Henry. Good day.
What am I to do?
Buying and selling. Not that I'd buy.
So if someone loses...
That's the arrangement.
I've got some goods here.
All right. See you later.
we do something about the price? What do you say to...
That's still too... Finally, a reasonable sum. God be with you, Henry.
I've got some. I know this.
It is indeed. I've got something...
All right. I put on the dress.
I brought you something to...
Thanks, Henry. Oh, it's a lovely... Hail the con...
Wouldn't you like to...
I'd love... The time passes so quickly with you, Henry. Come and see me again sometime.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad to see you.
You went to Skalitz on your own, didn't you? That took guts.
No, not really. It took me a while before I could work up the courage.
That was sensible of you. I went back straight away, and I almost got killed.
I know. I heard. That's part of the reason I was so nervous.
And how did it go? Did you do everything you wanted?
There wasn't anything to do. Someone already did it before me. I wasn't even able to catch that thieving bastard.
What thief?
Some shady-looking character. Whole face smeared with soot. He shot out of the basement as soon as I went by and ran away with his loot. I got such a scare. I didn't think about running after him, and he stole absolutely everything, even our new kettle.
What did he look like?
I didn't get a good look at him. He was covered in soot, and his sack of loot was so full, he had the kettle tied to it on the outside. It was gleaming.
A sooty man, a big sack, and a new kettle. Of course, he could clean himself up and throw away the sack. Maybe it was a devil. Or a charcoal burner.
You know, it really could have been a charcoal burner. That sack definitely looked like a charcoal burner's sack, and there are a lot of those around Rovna, so he wouldn't have far to go.
What was it he took from your place?
I don't know. My father told me never to talk about it.
What harm is there in telling me now? I can't steal it. Someone got there before me.
That's true. My father hid some money and valuables there. There was a jeweled cross he wanted to give Bianca as a dowry.
What did the cross look like?
Why do you ask?
Well, if I saw it somewhere...
What? You want to look for it?
Well, like I said, if I see it or hear something about it, we'll see.
That would be so kind. I've nothing left. If I had that cross, at least I'd have something to remember them all by. The cross itself was silver, and it had a small red ruby in the middle, like a heart, and it was hanging on a red string.
And did you tell the catchpoles about it?
I did. Alex asked me what happened and then sent me straight to them.
And what happened?
They said they were sorry, but they don't have anyone who could search all the houses looking for a kettle. So they told me if I don't know who it was, then there's nothing they can do.
Good luck, then.
Everything I had.
Over here. Please help me, sir. Sir. Please, sir.
What's happened to you?
I've walked all the way from Kuttenberg, but as so I can sway.
Wait.
Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
Learn how to ride a horse, idiot!
wily foxes giving you the runaround, eh? Always one step ahead.
That sounds like admiration.
You've got to admit, he's pulled up a neat trick. To steal a castle from under someone's nose like that. That takes some doing. I'll be glad to have him as my brother in arms. But I don't want him for a lord.
You're not an easy man to figure out sometimes.
No, I'm as simple as they come. All I care about is profit. And it doesn't matter how you get it.
I found Adam and asked him about his stolen stuff.
And did you find out anything useful?
You could say that. It was a man covered in soot who stole a new kettle and a silver cross.
No one tried to sell me a kettle, but that cross had a red stone and string, right?
How did you know? Don't tell me you're a fortune teller.
Of course not. Someone offered to sell it to me, but the whole thing seemed shady, so I told him I didn't want it.
So what did he say?
Nothing. He wanted something to eat and drink, and then left.
And that's it?
Yes. If he cursed me, then he did it under his breath.
And do you have any idea who it was?
I don't know his name. Just said he's a charcoal burner. He's from Rovna, and only shows up here occasionally.
So a complete stranger just happens to wander in here and offers to sell you a stolen cross? Come on. You definitely know who it was.
I have got a reputation for being reliable and being able to arrange certain things.
Yes, that's what Fritz said. Andrew's the man to go to if you need anything tricky arranging. So surely you know what the charcoal burner's name is, right?
Well, I don't know everything. Just that the charcoal burner is called Tonche, and he's from Rovna. But as for where exactly, I can't help you. I never went there, and I didn't ask.
All right, I'll look into it. How's trade?
Nothing we can't handle.
Give me one. Ale, as usual.
يا شريف غير تدري كيف وجهك
Enough. I yield.
Yeah.
I hope I can...
I've taken care of...
Oh, yes?
Here it is.
Very well. Here's your reward. Take care now.
I could do with it. I have some...
Let's have them. Very nice. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
God watch over you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Two arms! Get over here! Over here! Where is everyone? Quick!
Hey! All of you, gather here!
Alarm!
Vigilant, watch out!
Is that all you got?
Don't move! I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
I'm poor. Not a single grosh into my name.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm honored that...
I've taken care of...
Oh, yes?
Here it is.
Very well. Here's your... Some woodcutters...
I see. I have some...
Let's have them. Very... Farewell.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God save you.
Farewell. I feed a luck.
Your fame precedes you, but you won't get the better of me. This'll be the one. No point in pushing it. Should I? Shouldn't I? No, I daren't.
Not afraid of anything, eh? Not afraid of anything, eh?
If I was in your shoes, I'd pass while the going's good.
Not afraid of anything, eh?
I hope that's the end of it.
Kurva, why the hell did I even start playing?
What the?
Good day to you.
What's your plan?
Otter's busy making a very pretty suit of armor for the bailiff. So I was thinking, if we could show that pretty armor of his is absolutely useless, he'd be disgraced.
And how am I supposed to see to that?
Well, I reckon we'd arrange a duel of champions with bludgeons. You'll put on Vitus's armor, and Otter will send his champion in that tin shit of his. You invite the bailiff to watch, and Otter will be made a laughingstock in front of everyone.
So what do I get out of it?
Vitus will let you have the cuirass from his suit of armor, and I'll throw in a few groschen on top.
Sounds good.
And I'm sure a fella like you will be glad to be on good terms with the best armorer for miles around, eh?
That remains to be seen. Do you really think that will work?
Otter's always mouthing off in the alehouse that my young lad isn't worth a damn. Once I show he's just a bitter old bastard spouting hot air, his business will be ruined, and Vitus will reap the reward. What with all the strife in the country these days, there'll be no end of work for a good armourer.
But what if I lose?
Nonsense. How could you? Vitus's armour is light as an eggshell and hard as a rock.
How about if the armour for the bailiff mysteriously went missing?
Jesus Christ. Don't even talk about it. Although, if Otter doesn't agree to the duel, it might be the only option.
Exactly. And if you want to wreck Otter's reputation, not keeping his promise to the bailiff could be even worse for him than your idea.
You're right. Do whatever you think fit then. But if the armour gets, lost, don't come to me afterwards. I know nothing about it, right?
Of course.
Farewell.
Good day to you.
Farewell.
I'm honored that you...
Master Armorer, I have a message for you from Blacksmith Zack.
If it's another one of his so-called generous offers, you can go straight back and tell him I'm not selling, and that's that.
No, this is another matter. Vitus wants to challenge you to a duel.
What? Me fight with that brat? Zack must have lost his mind entirely.
Surely you're not afraid of him, Master Otter?
Pah! Me? Afraid of him? Nonsense. But a respectable craftsman like me can't be seen battering a barely trained runt.
It will be a duel with bludgeons. No bloodshed. At most a few bruises and some dents in the armour. Zack chose me to wear Vitus armour.
And so I'm to choose a champion of my own? That sounds reasonable.
Good. So let's agree on the time and place.
Hold your horses, young fella. I've got a counter offer for you. Now, I'm sure Zack is paying you well.
Maybe I'm just doing it out of love for my neighbour.
Aye, a regular good Samaritan, no doubt. I could pay you more, and I'd tailor-make a cuirass just for you. What do you say?
You mean if I fight as your champion instead? I'm not sure how Zack would take it.
No, you fight on Zack's side and lose.
That's not very honourable.
And Zack's constant slander and mudslinging are the height of honour, are they?
Zack might be acting the scoundrel, but why lower yourself to his level? You should show you're the better man.
Better than that, upstart. I'm a master of my craft, boy. I've made armour for the lords of Kunstadt. I've no need to prove anything to anyone. So, are you going to help me or not?
All right, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Zack won't know what hit him.
So, choose the time and place.
What, me?
You're the one being challenged, so it's your right.
Well, it's all the same to me. Go and sort it out with the bailiff. He should know about it anyway, so I don't look like a troublemaker.
All right?
See you later.
God save. Take care.
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Does it really not...
Why should it bother me? You call it fighting, I call it
And you don't...
See?
I'm here on behalf...
Zach? Don't tell me. It's another complaint about them. Well, you can tell Zach if you waste another minute of my time with that.
No, it's not a complaint this time.
Is that so?
A duel.
Jesus Christ.
Don't worry. Zach chose me as his champion. I'll be wearing a suit of armor made by his son, Vitus.
That sounds like a fine spectacle for the village green. Naturally, I'll have to be present.
Your presence is certainly...
Very well.
That's up to you.
We can announce it.
Let's do it.
I'll have it announced. Take care now.
Good citizens of Sasau, our township has long been plagued by a protracted dispute. As you are no doubt aware, Zach, the blacksmith of the monastery courtyard, and Master Armorer Otto Rabstein have been, for some time, at odds.
That is hammer and tongs, more like.
And in so much as it behoves my office as bailiff to settle such disputes and maintain peace and order, I have decided to resolve the blacksmith's quarrel by unconventional means, whilst affording an entertaining spectacle. In short, we shall let them knock each other's teeth out. However, since it ill befits two respectable tradesmen to maul each other on the market square like a pair of cocks on a dung heap, each of them has elected a champion. Zach, the blacksmith, has appointed to fight in his stead Henry of Scarlet. And Master Otto Rabstein's champion will be... Please, introduce yourself, Sir Knight.
Master Otter will fight for Master Otter. I don't need some young pup to take my place.
I remind you that this will be a duel with bludgeons alone, and until first blood is shed. Come, folks, be sensible for heaven's sake. We don't want any maiming here, or, God forbid, murder. So, if both contestants are ready, let us begin.
Playing at you, blockhead. That old fart made a complete fool of you.
I'm sorry. Otter was just too good for me.
Damn it. I should have known you weren't up to it. Well, I'll just have to think of something else.
But the bailiff said the duel would end the dispute.
Quiet! Don't annoy me more than you already have. Now get out of my sight before I shove the bludgeon up your ass.
Lean, fatty, normal, eatable kind. Cucumber.
Yeah.
Vegetables, fresh vegetables. Look, smell. Aren't they lovely?
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
I'll come for my reward.
It's a good thing you're here. I'm glad you didn't change your mind about throwing the duel. You could land some hefty blows if you wanted to.
Maybe.
I'll give you one of my older pieces, but I adjusted it so it'll fit you like a glove.
Thanks.
If you ever need anything else, stop by.
I will.
God be with you.
Who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll let you break.
Something lying there. Okay. This will come in handy. Mother of God. What's going on there? Well, I'm back. Who are you?
Yeah.
I hope I...
I've taken care...
Oh, yes?
Here it is.
Well, it looks like your job...
Very well.
What are you loiter...
Some thank...
Now be off.
I
Let's have them. They're off. May the Lord watch over you.
Welcome,
God be with you, good.
Have you been to Skalitz lately?
What have I been doing there? Everything's burnt down.
Someone saw a charcoal burner rooting around there.
And how does anyone know it was a charcoal burner? I'd like to know.
Well, they said he had a charcoal sack and...
Sacks aren't hard to come by. Especially around Skalitz. Anyone could have one.
Including the guilty man.
Or maybe it wasn't me, and you're looking for someone else.
If you don't confess right now, you'll be eating ash too. They saw a man with this sack, and I don't have a problem beating it out of you.
Look, I really wasn't there. Even if you beat me, or let them take me away in chains, I'm still not the person you're looking for.
Fine then. But if anyone catches you trying to loot Skalitz...
They won't. I've never done it before, so I'm not going to start now. Good luck to you. Hey.
So, have you changed your mind about Skalitz?
Why would I change my mind? There's no reason I'd go back to that town of ashes.
So you admit that you were in Skalitz to steal?
What are you talking about? I looked around what was left of the place, but I didn't steal anything.
You're lying. They saw you crawling around and going through the ashes.
Bollocks, they did. The only place I dig through ashes is here, and I don't steal from the dead for a few groschen.
All right then, I believe you. So you probably don't know who it really was, do you?
No, I don't. There are plenty of charcoal burners round here, but who's to say it's one of them you're looking for?
Fine. Thanks then.
Take care now.
Good day to you. What do you need?
You're the charcoal burner, Tonchek.
That I am. What do you want?
I heard you had a nice cross.
I did. But what's that to you?
Just making sure.
What are you talking about? Go and make sure somewhere else. Good luck to you.
And now I'll knock your teeth in, you thieving vermin.
Farewell.
God save you.
It wasn't easy, but in the end I pulled it off.
So how did it go? Have you got anything or not?
I tracked down the charcoal burner, but it wasn't worth it. He didn't have anything with him anymore.
He didn't have anything? It's ridiculous. He had to have at least a heap of groschen.
And how do you know that? I beat everything he had out of him, and it wasn't more than a few groschen. Maybe he managed to drink it all.
Maybe. If it was the right man. Are you sure you didn't steal from the wrong person?
He confessed and gave up the money. If his conscience was clear, he wouldn't do that, would he?
Depends on the type of thrashing you gave him, doesn't it? It doesn't matter. Let's leave it be. You can take those groschen and stick them you know where. Take care.
Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
Jesus, what have you been up to?
Got it for you right here.
Yeah.
God save you, Henry.
Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Just so. That István's a stubborn bastard.
All right, when do we start?
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, we can still wait. You won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or until your final rest.
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on two fronts. The north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
How are we going to attack the gate?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the trebuchet first. Keezer claims he can even hit it directly. Even if that's true, we'll have to charge through a downpour of enemy arrows all the way to the portcullis.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the defense in the bailey won't be easy.
And what's the plan for attacking the west wall?
First, we have to get men to the wall with ladders, which is no easy matter under fire, so we'll need as many men covering them as possible. As soon as the ladders are in place, our foot soldiers will run up and try to scale the wall. Once a few of them get to the battlements, we should quickly gain the upper hand.
How will we take the battlements?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate will help. If they can break through, that is.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer bailey, we're still a long way from victory. The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battlements. We'll have to either fight our way through, or somehow get around them.
What about the living quarters?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside, István will know defeat is inevitable, but we'll still have to fight for each and every room.
think I've heard everything I need to know.
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the walls.
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
A village lad and an old soldier? This man must be shaking in his boots.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, something always gets fucked up. Keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades, and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered. We have to take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you, Stripling.
Good luck to you, old soldier.
I'll be with you. Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanish.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, you're all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks this truce answers to me.
So are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor!
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. Then, he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish.
What you done for me?
Forgive me, husband. I'm sorry.
For what?
For letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry.
You've heard what he'll do if we follow them.
We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
He's a noble, right?
Yes, so am I.
So Radzig will be there. What will you do now?
Not long ago, I only made plans 3 days ahead at most. Maybe I really could do something for Rattay and its people. Something really big. But there'll be plenty of time for that later. The way you found Tom, sneaking into Brannick all on your own, well, what I mean is, hats off to you, Hal. You wouldn't catch me doing that.
Truth is, I didn't think much about it. I just felt I had to do it. What should I say to him?
Don't worry, it'll come to you. You'll see.
Well, I just hope he'll be there. Alive. What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that.
Before that, I was chasing wenches around Rattay and you were digging turnips. And now look at us. A pair of veterans.
I was an apprentice blacksmith, not a turnip digger.
Same difference, you silly bugger.
There's no sign of them. Move on. I'm glad to see Ishvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too, and now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
You all right, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
He knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah, the sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Marquardt von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Město mě vřele vítá ve svém nitru. Nemusím nic skrývat.
son.
Father.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Don't go.
Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzig wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Jobst.
Right. I'll go straight away. What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
Stop! I need to search you.
Look out.
Well?
Ah! I yield.
Gotcha! And now I'll fix you good and proper. You'll soon learn what justice means.
This definitely won't come cheap. You'll learn crime doesn't pay.
Look, I'll tell you the
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghoff is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts. And now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghoff at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I pack my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft a letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
I expect it would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lipa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue? The question is how. We need to learn where they...
So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish?
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Bergov is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Bergov tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Bergov is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia. But instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years. And now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Who is he really?
I don't know, but he really...
I'm a bit concerned. Who is this Prokop?
Jobst, then politics.
Who is this Prokop?
Politics.
The League of Lords.
The Lord, they abducted the... But now it's...
I don't know all that much about...
He's the king's... Sigis... Not long ago. And now...
Rupert of the Palatinate.
Rupert...
What's a...
Some of the... So...
That young man's...
The Liechtenstein... Since the king...
That's about all.
Very well.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Gutenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Come now, Hal. My men are mustered in the courtyard. We can get going. So, can we set off now, Henry?
Of course. I can't wait.
So, to horse! The Lord of Burgov is bound to be waiting. So, how is life as a high-born bastard?
I'm getting used to it.
What about Rodsey? Has he accounted for not owning up to you the whole time?
He explained it. All will be well, I think.
Glad to hear it. It's far more acceptable for a nobleman to befriend a noble bastard than a blacksmith's son.
Mind you, don't come to blows with a blacksmith, my young lord. What do you think about Sir Yobst and his plan?
Well, I admit all the scheming has me a little lost. I thought Sigismund was the devil, Wenceslas a martyr, those on his side the heroes, and those against him the villains. I believed we'd rescue the king and all would be well again, but now it looks a lot more complicated.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect the noble lords to be as noble as the angels, but I hadn't expected such a sewer. They behave like children.
I can't fathom how after all this backstabbing they're somehow still on speaking terms.
I don't know either. Beggars belief. Did you know that King Wenceslas is such a
feckless drunkard? Not really. And to be honest, I'm not sure I wanted to know. I slept better believing my fate was watched over by a wise and powerful monarch.
So did I.
What a dismal world when you can't keep trust in your own king.
On the other hand, times were better with him here than with him gone.
Isn't that the truth?
What do you think of Sigismund?
If I were him, I'd have had enough of my brother even sooner.
But he's a monster. Look at what those hordes of his are getting up to here. What he did in Skalitz.
True enough. On the other hand, if Wenceslas and Prokop hadn't double-crossed him, none of this would have happened.
No one forced him to burn Skalitz.
That's a fact. But he couldn't let them shit all over him either. Not that I'm defending him.
He's a weasel.
No doubt about that.
Do you know anything about Prokop?
Ha! Sir Hanush could tell you a thing or two about him.
Why?
Last winter, a certain Sir Jan Sokol of Lamberg, a well-known knight, or robber baron to some, tried to occupy the the city of Iglau, which was on the orders of none other than Procop.
And what has that got to do with Hannes?
Well, he was there with him. Of course, that's not something to brag about in front of Yost.
And what was it all about?
They wanted to occupy a city that was on the side of the League of Lords, but despite there being several hundred strong, they didn't take it. For one thing, they couldn't get past the Iglau women, with their pitchforks and cauldrons of hot water.
I would never have thought of Sir Hannes as such a rebel.
And have you heard anything about Rupert of the Palatinate?
A little. He can't manage even to wrest power from a king who doesn't much care for ruling and isn't fighting back. That doesn't seem like a man who has what it takes to rule. And that's all I need to know.
And that Berghoff we're going to see, do you know anything about him?
I haven't heard much good about him, but I have a feeling that some other nobles are quite in awe of him. And his castle is apparently quite impressive. I'll be interested to see for myself.
And what about the League of Lords?
Wealthy, pompous. The king doesn't seem to like them much. He's chosen to let the lesser ranks of the nobility into his circle, men like your father. I admit I don't blame him one bit. But the lords weren't happy about their lost influence, so they put their foot down. If I were Wenceslas, I'd have let them hang after they abducted me the first time. But he gave them seats at the provincial council? Little wonder they're back at their old tricks. How about it, Henry? Can we go? Are you ready for this?
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite. Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that whoreson who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I've a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!